Peace, beloved, peace. It's your homie, Young Content, the unofficial sensei of the culture, mastering youthfulness and contentment. And I'm currently learning how to fly a dragon. And speaking of those green eyes, you seen those green eyes and those whelps that have been evolving? We have a very, very special guest. You want to introduce yourself, my brother?
I do. Thank you, first of all, for having me on the show. We have, seems like we have some large shoes to fill following up with your guest you just had, Parallel. But we're going to do our best here and see what the dragons can bring to you. So yeah, this is Jake. I'm the founder, along with Tilt and Shock of Whelps. And we're excited to be here, excited to talk about our dragons, excited to let people know what's coming next.
Dude, the numbers are shooting up. It went from 8 to 15. Tell the dragons in the lair that they need to come out for some sunlight. They need to come to the dojo, and they need to watch. You might be dropping some serious alpha. Shout out to OptiArt Mobile. What up, dude? Welcome to the stream. I just told my community in the dojo. But yeah, man, you guys captivated me with your evolutionary, revolutionary design. That's what I'm calling it. First off, how was your day? And we could get into all the nitty gritty.
Well, it's hard to tell the day, night, morning, everything apart these days. We are very much 24/7 on this. There's a lot that needs to get done. There's a lot that needs to get done quickly to lay our foundation and then really start rolling out and getting to the what we'll call the fun phase, which is the expansion, which is where we get to do cool collaborations, where we get to start announcing stuff that people want to see and are waiting to see. And so we're kind of in that egg phase right now. I would say we're a few days away from getting to our baby whelp stage where everyone gets to start playing with things and having a lot more fun.
Wow. Uh, so we have you know, for people that don't know the Whelps, why is the Whelps the thing? Why I think it was the first ever evolving NFT. I think Kagi Yan, a homie of mine, covered it, and then I looked into it. A lot of the PFP projects before were kind of just dropping. PFP stands for Profile Pic Projects, generative art, very hot right now in the NFT space. For those that don't know, um, well, how did you guys stand out? You know, for people that don't know.
So the first thing we realized with all the PFP stuff that was going on, and we found it extremely odd, was there were no dragon projects or no real popular dragon projects. And you had everything from, turtles, aliens to camels,
Dragon,
but
duh.
no dragons. So that was number one in our mind. How can we do something with dragons? But the other part of it was how can we do something different? How can we kind of stand out? We were a bit newer to especially the collectible space in the blockchain NFT space. How can we do this being new without certain connections, certain influencers? How can we do a grassroots organic campaign? And we felt there's two things we absolutely needed. One was the artwork. The artwork had to be different. Everyone, for the most part, was doing digital. We said, well, what goes with dragons? Like hand drawn fantasy illustration. So let's do that. A lot of people told us it was probably not a good idea. We didn't, we're happy we did not listen to those people. We went for it anyways. And the technology is the other part. How can we stand out from a tech perspective? I've known various master brews for a long time. We know what they were doing. We know what their platform is doing. And we basically talked about, can we beta anything for you? Can we test pilot anything? Do you have something that'd be really cool? And the evolution mechanic was what popped up, what made sense with dragons. You could picture it in your mind immediately going through the different stages and aging. And it's just something we said, all right, let's do this. Let's do it full speed. Let's not waver despite what anyone might tell us from our vision. And, I would say it, we were definitely worried up until maybe the night before the sale when kind of people jumped in like Kagi Jan and a lot of fresh faces were appearing. A lot of people who were not traditionally NFT buyers, they were more blockchain gamers. And this gave us a really nice boost, a lot of fresh blood. A lot of people have told us we're their first NFT collectible they've ever purchased. That's something really cool. That's something that I think shows that you can absolutely do something different, go off that beaten path, and still have success.
That's sweet. That's sweet. Definitely was exciting to pick it up. I remember when the mint dropped, people were aping in. It settled around like 5, 4, 45. There was a gas war for Animonkeys, and the
Was
next
the
day you guys
stoner was
sold
the
out.
stoner cats? Yeah, that was the Ashton Kutcher thing.
Ah, yeah, the stoner cats. Yes, yes, yes. Um, what do you what has that community have taught you? Are people really like what's the floor on this stuff now, post drop? What have you learned? What can you improve? And kind of just talk to us about the trajectory.
Yeah, so the floor is something we've had a bit of trouble with people, and I don't want to call them impatient because everyone's in things for different reasons. And
No,
if
there
they
a lot of
did
people
get
are
in,
impatient for sure, but the
yeah.
attention span of these people are like a nut.
So there are people obviously, and it's their prerogative to want to be in, buy something, flip it for profit, and get out. That's not what we're noticing with most of our holders. Throughout the evolution, which was an experiment as far as the market's concerned, we actually gained holders. We didn't lose holders. And even today, after the adults were now 100% fully revealed, we were expecting a drop. We didn't see that drop. So these are all extremely positive signs. And when someone talks about the floor and the fact that, maybe there's a couple right now, and when I say a couple, I mean a small handful, maybe they're 0.02 something, 0.03 something, they are under mint. We like to look at the big picture. We looked at a lot of those, and it's people who hold 10, 15, 20 whelps that are just getting rid of a few of the more common extras. It's not people leaving the project. It's not that they're losing interest. And then, of course, there are your people who just want to liquidate a bit of ETH. and buy something else. But we also noticed that 80% of our holders, they don't have something listed. They're not selling anything. So that's an extremely high metric for us when we compare it to certain projects, other collectible ones in the space, that most people are really holding on, believing in, they want to wait and see what's coming, what's next, what's on the agenda before they make a decision on the project. And that's what that's all we're asking for. Give us a few days. I know a few days in the NFT space is like a few years, but we have a plan. We stuck to it up till now. The plan has worked. Let us continue that plan. Enjoy the ride. We are in the housekeeping phase. We do have a couple things that maybe are not the most exciting, but there's stuff that has to be done to build a very strong foundation for where we're going. I can say at the same time, just because we haven't dropped these news items, it doesn't mean we're not exploring them. For example, we were talking before the show, and I let you in on a little secret that while we can't reveal yet, we have a major upcoming collaboration, right, that we just spoke about. We have another collaboration that is, I'd say, about 85% done. And these are things that when we do drop them, nobody's going to worry about the floor. Nobody's going to worry about decimal points.
Yeah.
They just have to wait for the right time because we're waiting for the right time. It would be very easy and very cheap right now for us to sweep the entire floor. We could probably spend 4 or 5 ETH and make sure that the floor is above mint in a couple of minutes. But that doesn't do anything for the project. That doesn't do anything except for the people trying to make a very quick dollar. And we just try to hope more people understand that. We think a majority do. There'll always be people voicing concerns over the floor. But what we like to tell them is, give us these days, give us a couple of weeks. Absolutely blame us if the floor is still where it is right now in a couple of weeks from now. But we don't think that's a conversation we'll be having.
Nice. Do you feel like you what's going on Nick's service? What's going on? Got 29 viewers. Everyone, make sure you like the chat, make comment. If you have any questions for the lead of Whelps, please ask it away. I really appreciate y'all being here. Dominate the hell out of that like button. You feel me? Also, with all these, I had an interview with Parallel. They're killing the market. They're literally right next to they're right there next to CryptoPunks. People talking about flippings. We don't care about that stuff in the Parallel community because once you've been a part of a community so long, you get invested in it. You want to see it grow. You want to use your assets, be of value to it, contribute. Are you seeing that inside this Whelps project? And
Yeah.
also, how are you guys going to kind of like separate yourselves moving forward in the PFP race?
So we've actually elected a council of dragons, we're calling it, and this is 12, basically 12 seats that are going to control the community, voting for the community while it spends, work with the community, be our eyes and ears when we're perhaps sometimes busy on the back end or busy in doing deals, doing things that we have to do. And it was amazing to see the applications we got. Some people really show their passion through just simple questions like, why do you want to be on the council? Why do you like this project? Um, there's It blew us away how much and how quickly we've already built such an engaged community who really want to see the project succeed, and they really want to be a contribution and part of that. And that's not just by holding a wealth, that's by giving their input, seeing their feedback actually appreciated, seeing some of it actually come to light, come to pass. Yeah, we never expected the community would be so strong so quickly. And maybe part of that is that the project was unique. Maybe part of that is we didn't go the usual routes of people. We attracted fresh blood. We attracted people from different areas. But yeah, absolutely, absolutely, it's blown us away how strong the community is. And that's why we're not worried when a few people do want to discuss the floor, which is fine. But yeah, just the numbers and just the community tells us a lot of people believe in the potential. And until that changes, we're not worried. We're sticking with what we have planned, and we want them to have a strong voice in what we do in the future.
Yeah, as a DGen community person, what attracted me to you guys was not only the tech, but also like the dragons. And I think it's very simple for. I think a lot of these collectors keep everything very surface, very simple. Yes, it touches their heartstrings, and yes, they get really attached. But um, I like the simplicity of this stuff. Um, you don't have to have a white paper or stuff like that. Are you guys gonna explore new ways to expand lore, create 3D assets? Are you gonna do the whole sandbox plot thing? That what are you guys going to offer? And someone asked
So
about some siblings phenomenon here, so.
yeah, so I can address the siblings first. That's something that just literally we kind of announced the counts and more details before the show. So because the nature of our contract, everything was random, nothing was pre-generated, nothing was forced. We kind of let nature take its course. There was no way for us to prevent the possibility of duplicates. And we knew that from the start. This is not a surprise. And it's something we wanted to plan for and turn it into a real positive. So we did add enough variety that there were not going to be too many per our simulations. And we just got the counts. And, we actually hit something we didn't hit in our simulations, which is there are one set of quadruplets. So, it's going to be fascinating to see, do people fight for them? Do they have a little Mexican standoff? Um, do, people end up with having the full sets? And a lot of people asked, is there going to be any extra purpose other than the fact they're related and that's a new trait that gives them a little extra rarity? Will there be functional utility behind this? And without 100% confirming any of the stuff we're
Hold on,
planning
is
with
this an alpha
doing.
leak? Because I like leaks on this channel. This is what this channel has always been leaking stuff since Gods and Chain Parallel. So are you giving us some? I
uh,
need a button or something.
all right, I'll give you a leak soon. This one is not a leak yet, but I can confirm that it's absolutely in our plans for siblings to have additional utility in some of the features that we're planning. So it won't just be a cosmetic thing. It won't be just something because we chose to go this route tech-wise with the smart contract. There will be utility to them that is a little bit different and a little bit more beneficial than whelps who are just, solo, single adventurers.
That's cool. So you telling me the three whelps I have, I'm going to eventually in the smart contract find a sibling, like a sister or brother to that. Is that
Yeah, so it's going to be updated tonight, actually, probably within a couple hours of your show ending, and people will be able to see it in the metadata. It'll let you know what token IDs are actually your siblings, so that'll make it a little easier for people to go hunt them down.
damn, bro? Are these? I know. When I see dragons, I think of Game of Thrones or The Hobbit, or is there a movie or a lore, or are you dropping comics? Or
So
every
on
time
the
I see,
lore,
yeah,
yeah, on the lore aspect, we actually have a writer we had hired, an awesome writer and a poet named Margaret. She wrote all the lore on our website right now, gave everyone a little backstory, gave them an origin, and we are exploring a lot more stuff with her. And here's your leak. None of this is official. We're still working out the ideas, but this was actually a community member suggestion to have a community collaborated choose your own adventure style thing going on where everyone gets to contribute. We're looking at how to mix this feature with NFT technology, perhaps to mint it as a story or as a comic. And everyone that participated in building it along the way would then get that as an airdrop, for example. And these are the types of ideas. We have hundreds of these ideas. This is not limited to one or two things. What matters is working out all the details so it's not something we announce and then constantly delay, constantly don't deliver. We want to announce things when they're pretty much final and we know, all right, this is what we're doing, this is how it's going to work, and this is roughly, when it's coming out, give or take 2 or 3 days. Because we see what it does to other communities when, awesome, we're launching a video game, we're launching a movie, we're launching this, and
yeah.
then you don't
I
hear
saw that in
anything.
Super Yetis.
Yeah, you don't hear any updates, you don't hear anything for months, and there goes your community.
Yeah, it gets dangerous. It gets dicey really quick when you start over promising and under delivering. Someone said I'm really interested. Someone said love the dragons, young. Fire the dragons up. Awesome live stream. Will this be made into a game? Someone asked.
So that's another one where it's way too early to tell. I can absolutely say it's already starting to be explored. There are people on our council like Kagijan, your buddy, who, in something like that would bring us tremendous value, not just from the exposure aspect, but he knows what works, what doesn't. He would basically be someone we would heavily involve when we're working out things like mechanics, ideas, what makes sense. So we really do want to assemble an all-star cast. Everyone has different skill sets, everyone has different ideas, and they'll all come together to make these things great. Like the last thing we want to do is rush something like a game, have it be disappointing to people, or maybe fun for a week and then they're bored of it. That's not what we're building. Every single thing we think of has long-term implications. And, we don't mind if a game takes 4 or 5 months, which a really good game probably will. That's how long it's going to take, and we're going to do it right. So we're not going to do things just to affect our, NFT price or our stock price, if you want to call it that.
Sweet, sweet. Can you talk about your experience in NFTs a little bit? I know you got a Bored Ape, which is noble of you. But why NFTs? How'd you get involved? And yeah.
Yeah, so the first NFTs I discovered, I've always been kind of into stuff like Magic the Gathering and a couple other games. I came across Unchained Gods, and that was the first NFT experience I had. I liked it. There was a lot of stuff. It was still pretty early on.
You mean
And then
Gods
there was,
Unchained?
oh, yes, sorry, Gods
Yeah,
Unchained.
yeah, yeah. Good
um,
people, good people. I had an interview with Chris Clay. That yeah, they were the first NFT I fell in love with. Yeah, so we're in the same boat.
yeah, and then I discovered Wax, and I was very nostalgic about a lot of the properties Wax had, whether it was Garbage Pail Kids, whether it was I think they had Street Fighter. They had a lot of cool stuff on there, and that's really what I got into. Seeing trading cards, NFT stuff on Wax. Um, and then there was kind of a thing where I followed along. Master Brews was doing certain things. They had cool ideas. I feel like they dropped at the worst possible time in the market when everything crashed. NFTs were down something like 90%, I think, at the time. And what really brought me to the table to jump all in and want to do something myself was when I started seeing these collectible projects. Not gonna lie, the first thing that caught my eye was how easily they were making money and how much demand there was for it. But then I wanted to tie that to, can we make a real business out of this? Can we make something long term? Can we do cool stuff? Can we have comics? Can we one day try to have something like an animated series, a toy line, a board game, a real brand IP and franchise?
Dude, a
And
board game would be sick.
yeah, I just feel like Whelps has the potential. Now, will we get there? That's a totally different discussion. But it looks like something you could see as a major brand. And a lot of people have told us that and agreed with that. And that's what we want until something changes. That's exactly what we want to drive it to. And whether that takes 2 years, 3 years, etc. Board Apes are a perfect example. They should be a major brand. They already are, but they should be a major mainstream brand probably within another year and a half, 2 years, where it's not something people go, why are people buying a picture of an ape? It's going to be something that includes kind of all walks of life, and they've already started a lot of that. They're ahead of the game on most other projects, I would say. But we want to follow that path where you do walk in. If toy stores still exist, you walk in a toy store and you could see a Whelp on the shelf, or you could see collaborations with someone like I don't know, Funko Pops, or you do see people expanding the universe for us, whether it's with their derivatives or with their ideas. And we're going to be very open about that and very open about working with people that where it makes sense.
That's good. Yeah, someone said the board game would be sick for sure. Um, Also too, I mean, rising up the ranks because my buddy Pizza Later just said apes had almost 10 ETH floor.
Mhm.
Wow. That's absolutely bonkers. But for this new wave, I feel something in my spirit. Something's coming. Something's happening where DeFi, NFTs, crypto all pump together, and they're not gonna have all their individual pumps like they just had. And people are gonna want to have an avatar. There will be dragon lovers are gonna want to have a dragon. and hopefully they can afford it in these prices at this point before it goes to the moon. So, um, it's about accessibility in your community, and a lot of these communities, yeah, they're a flex, but they deserve that. They earn that flex. So, um, it looks like Whelps is going to be competing for that first NFT type holder.
Yeah, I mean, I think that due to the art style, right, we do see people using it already, for example, as their profile picture. But that's one of the reasons we had a surprise thank you gift, which is going to be an airdrop done of a much more kind of digitally styled, really standard profile picture. We want people to use this. We want to compete for that with people like apes, cool cats, craniums, whoever are the ones that compete right now, people consider the top of the list. We want to be in that conversation. I don't see any reason why we shouldn't be. And we want people to be choosing a whelp over some of those others as their main NFT, as their favorite NFT.
Yeah, for sure. I love my iron lung. I have one iron lung. What's your favorite dragon, and why?
I am always going to be partial to our original mascot, the first one I ever saw, the first one that the artist
The
drew,
Inferno.
the Inferno baby.
Yeah.
That will always be my favorite. As an adult, it's a very hard choice. I really do like the title, like most people.
Dude, the title's
Um,
on your screen right now, and all the its
yeah,
majestic oceanic glory here.
and it depends on the patterns, right? Like I love the title when it has the prismatic skin, but if it were to have, say, the X-ray skin, then I really love the tracker. So it goes with the traits and what else they have as far as which is my favorite. But the original is always going to be the first one I ever saw, and the one that we made our initial mascot, which one of our community won a contest, and it is Kenwick Flamar.
Penwith Lamar.
No, Kenwick Flamar. It is
Oh, I'm
obviously after
done. Oh,
Kendrick
that's funny as
Lamar.
hell. Oh, that's comedy. So someone said, would love to learn more about the decision making behind adding the confused and silly traits to the dragons.
So one thing I believe in is that I'm not an artist. I don't want to have control too much over what artists do. I want them to use their creativity and just do what they do. And our artist, this was what he felt, was fun for him, what he looked like. We did come up with several ideas for traits, but at the end of the day, we wanted to let him create. And it was just one of the many risks we were taking. We knew some people might not like those faces. Some will be more popular than others. I will say that on certain breeds, for example, on the Infernos, there's a lot of people that love that silly face where the teeth are bared. And it just makes sense with the lore because Infernos are mischievous and troublemakers. So there will be some where the face matches. There will be some where the face is too subtle for some people's liking. Um, but that was, something that is up to the artist, and we didn't want to step on their toes. We gave them a general outline, and we just want them to do what they do, and that's create. And the same goes for the backgrounds. Our background artist, England, we let him have like a lot of freedom. We let him know that, in general, we should have some that are a little more rare or look a little different. But really, we wanted him to just create, and we think that was very successful. People love the background, so.
For sure. Um, guys, there's questions coming in here left or right. But can you tell us more about the perks currently and expected offers to holders, derivatives? Someone asked about a dragon token. Imagine if you can stake your dragon to get a dragon token. Yeah, we try to answer these questions. We normally wait to the end, but dragon tokens very cool. I don't know. Creating a token is not the easiest thing. You got to be in like Singapore or something. I'm just joking, but it's just a lot of fine details in that. How do you consider that?
We're early on, so we're open to all those ideas, open to what makes sense, like we mentioned. We have thought already about a token. We have thought about, will this become a DAO one day? We said no. That is something we always want to be part of and still at the lead of, at least for the foreseeable future, for a long time. It's our passion, it's our baby, and we're not planning to give it away now. As far as a token, that's something where, first of all, there's many types of tokens. We would have to see what makes sense. Is it, as someone's mentioning, staking is something we're exploring for a lot of features. and we are exploring it for, we have confirmed to people there will be a seventh breed. There is more coming. Staking is a great deflationary tactic where you don't have to necessarily burn your NFTs to achieve the same result for the market, and you maintain flexibility for what you're going to do later. That's key where, since we're early on, we don't want to make permanent decisions that might limit us in the future as far as what we want to do, especially with things like games or other forms of utility. So we want to keep our options open, and everything we decide right now early on is going to be working around that. So I would say a token's not out of the question, but it's not something that would be done in 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah.
There is a lot to consider with it, and it's going to depend how our direction is, maybe in a month or two. And what if that's something though the community is highly demanding and they have a good reason why they think it would be beneficial, well then yeah, then it'll move up our priority list because we do have that voting system. We are going to respect it, and the council is in place to kind of mediate that between us as the top level and what the community wants. So because I could say, I want feature X, I think that's amazing, but maybe people just don't see it, or people don't like it, or don't think it's as cool as I do. So why am I going to push that on them as our number one priority?
Yeah.
So
What I can kind of see happening, because I'm all about collaboration, being a connector. That's what I am with this show, Live with the Sensei. Um, I could really see, you guys have Kagi and some good supporters in me. Maybe, doing an Ember Swords collab where the dragon lives in the Ember Swords, world. That would kind of immortalize these whelps. I'm pretty sure
yeah,
Ember Swords has a form of dragon lore, and it's just cool to contact them. I know Kagi knows them.
yeah,
Maybe make
these
some
are
connections in that.
not them specifically yet, but these are the types of collaborations we're looking for, which is more than stuff like a very simple cross promotion giveaway. We do want to have deeper integrations. We do want to have things that are longer lasting, that open more doors. So you're definitely on the right track. I can say we have already spoken to an NFT project even before our launch, who were very interested to have whelps if we did well as as characters in their particular dungeons and their games. And that's something that's still on the table. It's stuff where we're working out when timing is right for both parties. There's logistics like they want to kill our whelps. We think our whelps should be companions, right? There's a lot that goes into these decisions, and it's not stuff again we want to do loosely. We want to consider all the angles. Now we have a council. There's some very experienced people on it. Kagi Jan, there's Bruce the Goose, there's Master Bruce Various, and then there's people who have a lot of skill sets. There's people coming from esports backgrounds, marketing backgrounds, fantasy backgrounds. We have input from even our guest artists who, to touch on them a bit, it was pretty humbling how a lot of them very quickly accepted and jumped on working with our project just because they loved what we were trying to do. And they're not all guys who are in the NFT space, but they all, have amazing resumes from gaming companies, animation companies, other types of studios, comic books. So it's kind of cool to see that they also didn't just do a guest piece and then bounce. A
Yeah.
lot of them still talk to us daily. They really want to know what's next. They want to know if they can help more. So we're building the types of relationships that are going to propel us forward for a long-term future, not just for one-offs.
Wow. Yo, Mavi, what up? Awesome. Thank you for you being here. Shout out to you, OptiArt. You're the man. Um, yeah, I like when I'm here. It's always good to follow up with a post sale, and it's to see where that community's heads at. Your Discord is always popping. There's a lot of projects I really like in the PFP space, and you guys are definitely there. Um, what is the next couple months look like for Whelps going forward?
So this week is like I said, kind of our housekeeping week. We're going to be finishing all the final kind of tech touches, updating the website, getting an updated roadmap built. Part of those roadmap items are going to be with the community voting. That a couple things might start tonight, and then they're going to go on throughout the week. So really, we will have a nice picture, I think, by I would say the end of the weekend. We're going to have wrapped up all the sale unlockables. The Elder Dragons will be given out, the statues will be given out that we're doing. We announced today winners of our derivatives. So we're kind of wrapping up all the loose ends that came from the sale. And once that's done, that's kind of the end of the egg phase. Then we do move on to that baby phase, start announcing, our initial collaborations, start announcing, here's the next couple of features, what do you guys want next? That's what we'll knock out next. And just keep growing from there. And as long as people stick with us for the ride, I think they're going to have a pretty cool project that they're part of. And,
Yeah.
we have a very strong team. We all have strong backgrounds. We've all been in both startups and major corporations. So there's a lot of experience to go around. And that's why we ask people just, have a little patience. Don't freak out about the floor for a day, 2 days, 3 days. If we're not worried about it, you should not be worried about it. And we're not worried about it because we don't care. We're not worried about it because we understand the big picture of it.
True. That's honest. That's honest and fair. Um, yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, learning more about the whelps. I mean, seeing all the things you guys are gonna do, the concrete things that you are doing with the siblings phenomenon. Um, Has any are you guys have patents to that evolutionary things that you did, or is that if anyone else comes out with that evolutionary thing, you guys could be like the first one that ever did that, you know?
We will always, I think, be known as the first. We've cemented that now. It's obviously transparent and provable on the blockchain. But to give full credit, that is a Master Brews technology. They allowed us to beta test it for them. So it's kind of a joint venture. I would give both companies credit for that.
What was the
We do
company?
it Master Brews,
Okay.
and they're building an NFT services platform. They already have a couple of clients lined up now after us. I heard it's getting quite busy over there. They're hiring new team members. They're hiring people that will be able to access as well. And it's really something where it was a joint effort. Everyone's very happy with the partnership, very happy with the results. And everything we do, there might be certain things we do on our own in the future, but I think for the most part, as long as they're willing to still provide us technology, they haven't given us a reason to leave that.
Yeah.
And it makes sense to keep that partnership growing and alive as both companies keep growing. And I call this a company instead of a project because that is what it is to us. This is not a project where we're going to just launch a bunch of things. This is what our focus is. This is a company we're building, a brand we're building. And I feel like there are projects where people just want to knock one out and then try something else and then try something else, which is cool and is also very exciting. But then a lot of those kind of get left behind post sale, which is not what we intend to
Yeah.
do.
Guys, if anything, this past week, last week has taught me, you're a big sci-fi guy. You can't deny what Parallel is doing in the space. Is I was with Parallel from the day uno, and if I was just flipping shit like that, patience really pays off. So if you're down for the long haul, you will be rewarded because it literally happened to me. And shout out to Korvac. He's from Influence on that team. Shout out to Influence. I just talked to them about. I just talked about Influence on Orphan's channel. He said we love the whelps. Yes, hashtag we love the whelps for sure. Um, Dude, I think that was a nice rundown of what you guys are doing. I need probably Master Brews or whoever does that stuff to send me like a Whelps Cheerio box so that I could put it in stream and then you guys could just give me ad revenue or stuff all the time. Um,
Yeah,
that would be
I think we can talk to them. I think they're pretty open-minded fellows.
Yeah, dude. It would be cool to have something in the stream with the dragon cereal or something. I've always wanted to do that ever since I've seen that on Marcus Brownlee's tech channel. Um, yeah, man. At the end of the show, we always kind of channel. Is there anything we're missing? Any alpha you want to drop? Message to your community. Your community really came out. Record numbers. 35. Especially for a Tuesday.
Yeah, no, I think everyone's very interested to hear what's next. And we did drop a few of the things here that, we threw around, nothing's confirmed. We just want to let them know that they'll be the first to know as soon as stuff does have details that is confirmed. But there's a lot cooking, and we just don't want to throw it out before we're 100% certain of the details, the timing, the effort involved.
Yeah.
So, when we announce something, it's going to happen. Maybe it's a day late, maybe it's 2 days
I feel
late.
like it's gonna be major, and it's at the end of the day, if it's reactionary, guys, don't react and stuff, but hold the floor. You know what I mean? Like collect because you want to be in the community. Um, I have a little different opinion when it comes to like just degen flippers. You're probably a little nicer than me, but we'll leave it there. Because it's okay to disagree. I fucking hate flippers, but um, yeah, man, this was really good. I really enjoyed talking to you. Um,
Yeah,
and
I mean, it's awesome. We're very happy in the future to collaborate again, be on your show again. We'll try to get you that cereal box.
that
It's
dude, I need it
not
in
out
like
of the
that
realm of
lime,
possibility.
that highlighter yellow with that title dragon on it. You got to look at the stream. Well, you got to watch the VOD back.
Well, what if the cereal had all our Whelps shapes in it in their different colors?
Dude, that would be stupid, bro. There's so much cool stuff that if you just bring in the digi physical, I don't think a lot of people are talking about that digi physical bridge is so important. That's why everyone
Um,
is like so hype about if you guys ever had a board game.
yeah, I will. You just brought up one thing that we haven't mentioned much. We are delivering about 13,000 different images to a printer right now, with Maddie's. So they're going to be our merch partner. They do the Board Apes, they do a bunch of collectibles,
Ooh,
and then they're moving into the metaverse where you can 3D model your avatars, have them in I think it's something like 200 different apps and worlds. So yeah, we did have that on our roadmap initially. It is not something we forgot. It's time consuming because we want to offer people the ability to really choose their wealth, meaning every combination is eventually going to be available on Maddie's, not just 5 or 6. If you have, X horns with X breath with, Y body and a certain age you want on your t-shirt, well, that's what you're going to be able to get. So we actually just are delivering all the combinations of that artwork in the format needed tonight. And that's going to be something we hope gets up and running fairly soon. I think they're expanding their items. So not just clothing, apparel, you can get, all kinds of crazy stuff from stickers to pillows for your bed. And
that's why I think you guys are
yeah,
special because you guys have the like that company experience. It's not just like some kids, trying to get funded and being like, where do I go now? So
yeah, we definitely have experience. We know the startup culture. We know the agility required, pivot on demand. And we're fine with that. We're fine with the stress. We kind of enjoy, not to be workaholics, but it really is easier to work on something that's your own and that you're passionate about versus working for making someone else money.
yeah, for
A
sure.
100%.
Someone said sounds dope. Thanks. I'll try to buy some more floors soon. And then Mario says 3D printed dragons. Let's fucking go.
Yeah, that is actually something we're getting the samples on because that was one of our sale unlockables, and our
Ooh,
seven lucky holders will not just get a dragon statue, they will get their favorite whelp they're holding in their wallet as a custom 3D printed statue.
wow, that's fucking sick. Um, I have a Treeverse land, and I'm probably going to put my dragon there, just chilling.
Mhm.
Because shout out to Loopify, his project. Yeah, man, it's all about the connections. Connections are very important in the space right now. It's beyond the profit gaining. Um, yeah, man, Mavi, it's been a really good show. I need you. Are we missing anything else, Dragon Lord?
No, just don't worry about lack of marketing, lack of things. Everything is in the plan. Everything is in our internal roadmap. We just want to pace ourselves and do it properly. So we think everyone understands this. Everyone that's in for the long haul. And yeah, I look forward to the next time we have a show about whelps to see the stage we're at then, the growth we're at then. I think it'll be pretty impressive how quickly we're going to be able to bring it along once a few things get rolling.
Dude, I love that. I really love that. And I look forward to having you guys back. I mean, everybody that's been on the show from Ben Morrow to Parallel to Chris Clay from Magic the Gathering to you. I don't bring anybody on this show. And it's really nice to, I invested in the project. I have an investment in the project. I wasn't gifted anything. So I like to collect, and that's a portion of what I like. I like your project, and I look to support it. And every end of the show, I have the guests channel their inner sensei. So I guess I'm gonna have you channel your inner dragon. Speak to your community, tell them the final words, and then we'll peace up out of here.
The final words would be do what you like, do what you enjoy, and apply that to what you buy. Every time I bought something trying to make money, it's failed me. Every time I bought something I liked, it ended up turning out really, really well. So it's always nicer to be able to hold on to something you're a fan of, you believe in. And even if you just like the aesthetic or the artist, support that. Don't support things just because, everyone else is. And to the people producing and creating out there, which I know there are some in our community, never let people tell you that's too big a risk, that's not going to work. No one else is doing that. You should not do it. Totally ignore that noise. Do what you want to do. And if you fail, hey, I failed, I don't know how many hundreds of times. And I know it's cliche, but you will hit the home run eventually if you stick to your plans. So yeah, I wouldn't give up your dreams just to appease anyone.
Sweet, sweet. I'm gonna be in NFT NYC. I don't know if you guys are gonna go, but it's gonna be a megaplex. Yeah, man. Thank you
Yeah.
for you. Are you going to NFT NYC by any chance?
Yeah, we're pretty much allowed out of quarantine. I have to double check all that stuff. We're up in Canada, but assuming there's no blockers from that perspective, I'm pretty sure the Whelps team is going to be there. Maybe
Yeah,
maybe quite a
it could
few
get
of
a
us.
little dicey. It could get a little dicey in the next couple months, but that means more people gonna collect, I guess. So
Yeah. So no, we will. We'll definitely try to be there and make that happen and have several of the team there, hopefully.
sweet, brother. I appreciate you. Stay on the call. Mute your mic. We're gonna go to the music, the outro, the funny outro, guys. Thank you. Follow Whelps NFT on Twitter. Go into their Discord. Everything is linked there. Follow the Young show. A lot of alpha, a lot of good content. You can see all the banners there in the stream. Live the dream, eat ice cream, and above all, stay content. Peace out,
And
bud.
thank you so much.
Peace.
Because you know that